G'day folks, welcome to a Friday morning. I've got a car idling over there. That's my normal daily driver. I'm going to do some work on it, and you can see how successful the results are, because I want to get those buggered spark plugs out of the cylinder head, and they are pretty well stuck. So I'm hoping just by keeping it at temperature and then freezing the plugs with liquid refrigerant, just a little shot of liquid refrigerant should freeze them enough to break the threads free and allow me to spin them out. So we'll see how successful that is. In the meantime, I'm also watching the Geek Group live stream as usual. They always have a afternoon show, the Molotov cocktail hour as Chris likes to call it. Yeah, really good organisation. They've got awesome little workshops on cars, robotics, you name it. It's well worth watching. They've got Rapid Prototyping Lab, which is 3D printing essentially, Laser Lab, robotics, CNC machines donated by Haas, you name it. Really cool shit. So yeah, Chris has invited me to visit, so I'll make it a mission to go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and check out their labs. One day, not soon, but one day. Anyway, I've got that for the RAV4, that for the Ford. I've already got a filter. Yeah, the rotors didn't clean up, so, well, they did clean up, but they were undersized, so I've got to, I've got a pair of new DBA slotted and gold electroplated rotors on order at the moment, so they go next. Likewise, these pads are pretty much new, but I'm not even going to bother reusing them. I've got brand new Bendix ones on the bench there, as well as an air cleaner, so that's a good start. I also need to do spark plugs. Yeah, today's mission's to get those out, all 6 of them. This fan is almost permanently half locked in. So it's busted in a good way. A bit of weepage. And tighten that hose clamp. Yeah. There is a tiny coolant leak coming from the cylinder head just under there, behind the power steering pump. So the head does have to come off eventually, just not now. I'll give it everything a good clean when I'm done. Very good clean. They're a good engine, it's a shame they're not going to make them anymore. The ticking of the injectors, that's about it. Yeah, apart from a slightly uneven exhaust note, possibly a breaking down spark plug or something worse, yeah, it's not bad. It's still very smooth. These are a very smooth engine anyway. There's so much rotating and reciprocating mass. They're just a big engine, and they're far from obsolete like a lot of people were saying, well, some people were saying. I know Ford Australia's dying, but hopefully the big 6 will continue to live on, maybe even get bigger. soon as we get rid of the carbon tax and all that BS, the better. Make it cheaper to run these again. Well, that's never going to happen. They're not going to let that go down, but we'll persevere. The only thing that could make the Falcon obsolete would be the Territory, and we don't know what its future's like. I can't see anything else making the Falcon and the Commodore obsolete apart from something bigger and better. I mean, you put this engine in an SUV and you've got the Territory, and that's a great SUV. They are everywhere. They're probably outsold Falcon at one point. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get stuck into it. We're nice and hot. Yep. I've got to freeze them plugs and try and extract them. It's not going to be easy.
Dunlop, who's
you got to like that. You've got a rocket launch on today from NASA.
Aircraft operations.
Perfect.
Explains something about how that was going to work.
Be listening to that for the next 20 minutes or so. I think it's T-minus 23 minutes till launch. And speaking of launch, I have all the spark plugs out. Well, not out yet, but they're free. I didn't have to actually freeze them. The heat did everything for me. When we first did the major service, I did the service with V8 Jagnut, Brad, they were extremely tight and borderline tearing threads out. But once they're hot, it came out without incident, so that was good. But I did have my little freeze bottle ready using liquid refrigerant. It does work very well, but wasn't necessary, thankfully, but it's always good to have it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these plugs out and do a compression test. The plugs are very badly eroded, so the sensitive AEC4 system will not like that. These are very sensitive to wrong plugs or degraded plugs, but we'll see. These are different to the ones that were supplied. These have a longer electrode. I'm not sure why that is, but I'll just double check what it says in the book, whether these are alright. As you can see, they protrude out a lot further. They could be gas plugs, I don't know. I'm going to run these numbers and just see. But yeah, they're alright. They're out. Leads are numbered, so you can pop them out and put them wherever. They're all new leads, new rotor button, new cap, new everything. Just no new plugs because we couldn't get the first three out and just abandoned it after that. But yeah, she's nice and hot. Well, running temperature, pressurised. Yeah, thanks to Chris Bowden from the Geek Group for posting this in the IRC. That little rocket thing underneath that jet is what they are launching today. Pretty interesting. I know you won't see this until after the launch, but they'll probably have a post-launch video up. You get all the radio chatter and everything.
Copy, pilot LPO, check step 136, Bravo complete.
There we go, they all look largely the same. There's no obvious carboning or broken up insulators on any of them. Well, no sooting from incomplete combustion. They're all healthy. Worn but healthy. And very old. Very, very old. Okay, let's compression test. I've already done cylinder number 1. It's come up with 150 psi. I'm grounding the plugs just to or using junk plugs just to ground out. I can't get my hand under there without burning it to disconnect the coil, because the coil's under the intake, worst possible location. Might even look at relocating that one day, but I've just unplugged each fuel injector so as not to create a combustible environment around here. Let's see what happens on cylinder number 2. Bang on 150, that's alright. Let's try number 3. Alright, gauge is zeroed. Let's try number 3. Just a little bit shy. Okay, so we're a little bit low on number 3. Alright, I'm going to complete the last 3 and then we'll see what the results are. I am writing these down over there, by the way, so we'll look at a proper comparison of the cylinder compression. Yeah, it's definitely due for a head gasket. I know it's weeping a bit of coolant down the side of the block there, like enough that I have to put water in it every, I don't know, every few months I did it a couple of months ago and it's only gone down to there, so it's bugger all. But yeah, eventually I'll do the cylinder head. Okay, just keeping the gauge on number 3, I zeroed it and did it again, and it's actually come up to 150, so maybe the check valve wasn't checking properly. I'm not too sure. Oops. Let's try not to do that. There's a spark plug on the plastic pan underneath now. I think I'll fish that out. Okay, well there's the numbers. Given the variance I found on number 3, I went back and tested the other two, number 1 and 2. Surprisingly, the cylinders that get the hottest are actually showing the highest compression. So we're a little bit out, barely enough to notice, but I'm thinking most of the fluttery and inconsistent idle is to do with junk spark plugs. They're old Denso ones and they are well past use by date. That orange appearance there is combustion gases getting past the insulator. When you see that on a spark plug, that means it's well past its use by date, because you've got gases coming past through the metal body where the ceramic's crimped into place, and it's actually starting to weep past or blow past. Sooting and God knows what else. So they're done. I'm just going to double check the type that I have there. If not, I'll probably just go down the street and get some more. Yeah, what can I say? Still pretty healthy. The head does need to be done, but I'll throw some more stop leak in the cooling system just to fix that leak around the front corner where the behind the power steering pump is. So that's good. It's not as bad as I thought. I was expecting low compression at idle, but yeah, got to change the plugs first. Always check your ignition. Okay, so I cross-referenced the number and it is correct. They are designed to have that extended electrode. Where was it? Yeah, it goes through all the Ford series there. That's expensive as hell. I think I paid about $1.80 for these. NGK also has the website, so yeah. Anyway, onwards. Alright, let's see if I've killed the battery or it starts or what. That's better. Top end's still a bit noisy. I've got to do that oil change. Normally it's up around the next bar along when the oil's fresh, but once it's a bit old, it's not so crash hot. Yeah, certainly idling a lot better. Those old plugs weren't helping. Oh, that's good. I'll yeah, do that oil change, I think. Got to work out how to get the jack under this car. I don't have a low profile jack, and because the car's lowered, it makes it quite difficult. It's one of the reasons why I haven't done many services on this thing. You just can't get underneath it. Oh, we'll work that out. I'll have to get it back to the carport, I think.